Jesse, you were there yesterday.
Yes.
And I would love to know what your takeaways may or may not have been. One thing that I think stood out to me, and I want to know if you agree with this, is CJ on the CJ show said, 20 years or whatever I've been doing this, that was the most relaxed camp opening that he'd seen, which I thought was interesting because, and I wanted to know if that carried over into the first on ice.
Well, that was day one of camp. Right?
That was like the media stuff.
If that's the opening of camp and he says relax, I'll take CJ's word on that because that was my first day one of camp ever.
Right.
So I can't speak to how it's been the previous 20 years.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
I feel like Pierre LeBrun said something similar.
Well, yeah. He said that about the Marner stuff and him being gone. It felt relaxed and alleviated. It was very relaxed, I found. The interesting thing about the way they do camp and the press conferences and everything is because there's 72 guys there.
73, I think.
73?
Yeah.
Oh, I got it so wrong.
Man.
Dial in.
Glad we corrected.
He's
to
all
that one
over
more
us.
guy.
Holy
Who
shit.
did I forget?
I'm on you like
Landon
shit on
Sim?
Velcro.
So 73 guys, and because there's so many people there, we can't go into locker rooms because they need all of the locker rooms all the time because guys are coming in and out. So that's why the groups are split into 3 groups. It's the first group, second group, they split up the NHLers, they split up the AHLers, and then the third group is strictly like development guys. It's like guys who probably don't really have a shot at anything right now, but they're there and they're there for the experience, and the guys want to get a look at them. So the way they have to, when we want to talk to guys when they're done skating with the groups, is they bring us outside to the parking lot. And so we go to the back area behind where the Zamboni parks, and there's a little extra parking lot back there if anybody's been to for performance. It's where the players park.
Yes.
So they put up a little tent there, and under the tent they put up the step and repeat, and the Leafs, they come out and they stand in front of that, and they set up the cameras outside in that parking lot area, and then all the players walk out to the parking lot and they talk to us, and everything is very chill and very relaxed. You probably heard it from any of the reporters this week. Everybody's batting 1,000%. Because everybody's 0-0. Everybody's got a shot to win the Stanley Cup. Everybody's in the best shape of their life.
Yep.
And the guys hanging around, it's very casual because there's so many people that they're all walking in and out. Like when we're doing that, like Benoit's behind us grabbing his food and walking to his car and leaving. Yeah. So everybody's kind of around and they're all in a good mood because it's just like, hey, I get to just practice and now I'm back from my summer and I'm good. I'm happy to be in hockey mode. Chris Tanev, his first thing, we were like, hey, how was your summer? And he's like, I'm just happy hockey's back. Hockey's back. And like, that's the mood everybody's in. So those training camp vibes are good.
This is probably Chris Tanev's like 20th camp.
Right.
Like it's completely insane.
By the way, do they call it the dog pound because that's where they put the big scary media? Like, is that like, do they put you behind a cage? Like, how do you got to hold Jonas Siegel and Mark Master.
Yeah,
back.
Myrtle was there.
James Myrtle was there.
It was
Slender Man.
It was insane.
Get him the hell out of there.
It was insane because he had a police escort.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they're like, he's so dangerous that we have to call in the OPP.
So Myrtle shows up and it's dun, 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 dun.
So he had a police escort with him, Myrtle did, just so that when, Matthews is around, they're like, okay, we know Matthews will be safe from James Myrtle.
Yeah.
So that was good.
So, Austin.
Safe from James Myrtle on Facebook.
Yeah. Austin, first question from James. Anyway, sorry. Every time the media asks a softball question this season, I'm just gonna be like, Team Conrad or Team Jeremiah. Sorry, you're going to hell.
So one thing, Dave McCarthy. This is going. Dave McCarthy from NHL.com.
My head hurts.
Covers the Leafs.
Yeah, you're shaking it really violently.
I punched myself too when I did the.
It's because you're locked in, man.
I'm fucking dialed.
He sat down with Morgan Rielly, chatted with him.
He stood up with Morgan Rielly.
He did. He said in his tweet that he sat down.
Dave, you called it a sit down. You stood up. I saw you.
Lock in!
The both of you were standing.
Lock in, Dave.
Oh my God!
You can't tell me it was a sit down.
One more strike, you're out.
You stood in front of him and asked the question.
One more
fucking liar.
Oh my God.
There's nowhere to sit in the parking lot.
So I think Dave asked the question, is the too much pressure to play in Toronto narrative BS? And Morgan Rielly said, yes, I would agree. I think it's nonsense. There's pressure playing for every single team that's and that comes from within. It's equal over the span of the league because everyone is trying to win. Everyone is trying to keep their job when it comes to management, putting together the best team. And if you are not the best team, guys get fired and you have to find new jobs, and nobody wants that. So the pressure comes from within. Does that make sense? In Toronto, there's more coverage maybe, but the guys love playing here. And that's because of the quality of the organization, the ownership, the management, and the kind of operation they run. It's just like playing everywhere else, but guys love it here. There is no animosity towards any pressure or input from the fans. Everybody loves playing here, and we look forward to it. You want to do something that matters, play somewhere that matters, and if you want to do that, you want to do it here. Now, do you not think, especially with that last part, that first off, I should go and punch myself for May, who was like, Adam from May was like, we got to move on from Morgan Rielly. Adam from September says Adam from May can shut the fuck up if that's Morgan Rielly's attitude. I love that.
The more I think about it, the more he's integral to this year's team. But that also means the Leafs are going to rise and fall as he does.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Jesse, what do you think about that quote?
I think he's saying the right stuff. Like Morgan,
that's all I need.
Yeah, Morgan's good at that. Like I'm good that he's a part of the. I'm happy that he's a part of the leadership group of the Leafs. They've condensed it now. Finally, they don't have to keep babying everybody who's around and give out 18 A's.
We have to give equal A's, Jesse.
Yeah, no, everybody on this team gets an A. Nobody is excluded. How it was run for the last 9 years. So I'm glad that they've gone down and been like, okay, we got JT, we got Morgan, we got Austin. Like, those are our leaders, and Morgan has displayed that ability to be a captain in this organization. He says the right things, and I think it's great.
Can I got to bring up something that someone else said, and I'm not taking a shot at this person. I think he's a lovely guy. Tyson Barrie was on Chicklets, and it was really good. Like, he told some really
He's a funny guy, man.
Funny guy. I mean, he did an interview with me and Justin's college radio station in 2009. Like, he's just a beauty, really good guy. But he was talking about Marner, and it's going to be crazy when Game 32 rolls around and he walks in the locker room and there's no one there waiting for him. And, like, he's right. Like, that's just an objective truth from his experience in the National Hockey League where he spent hundreds of games. But I'm sitting there going, yeah, that's bad, eh? Like, you know that's bad?
You don't want that.
Mitch he's on a $96 million contract. Where do you think that comes from? Thin air? It's a business. It comes from all the people who put butts in seats and buy the jerseys and watch on television, which is extremely important because of these multi-billion-dollar media deals in several different countries. It's when no one is there, that's bad. You know that's bad. And no player should embrace that or want that. If you're in a market that has no one there after game 32, your mission, along with winning games, is
to get people.
How do I get someone there? You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't have your cake.
Well, and I don't think that's going to last forever. I think the way the game's growing, I just don't think that that's possible. So that might be the case right now.
Can everyone stop saying Vegas doesn't fucking care? Because that's the subtext of everything.
Well, and I'll tell you, Vegas fans disagree with that vehemently.
They do care. They do care. They have one of the craziest atmospheres in the world. And all I keep hearing is no one gives a flying fuck about the Vegas Golden Knights, which is a crazy thing to say. Anyway. Just wanted to point that out.
Jesse, one of the things that, there's a lot of questions going into training camp. So one of the things I think that's got to be out there is who's running the power play? Did you get a sense of who might be in contention to run PP1?
No special teams when I was there on day one.
Okay.
Don't have that. But you're talking about the lines. I know you're making fun of training camp lines.
I'm legitimately into it.
But the coaches, I think, around the league, and especially here, like yesterday, they were setting those up as if, like, it's game one tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Berube wants to see the guys together, and Michelli being in that Domi spot was, hey, here's an opportunity for you, because that is Domi's spot, and he acknowledged it.
So he did say that.
Yeah, during his afterwards when he was talking, I forget. I think his Masters asked him if Michelli was getting a shot there to see like how he would be, or if that's just an occurrence because Domi's out. And he said that he's there because Domi is not there.
Did Berube cry after Masters asked him that question? I'm just wondering if I'm
Mark Masters.
But that's interesting because if Michelli's not there, I did read a quote about Berube talking about why he likes McMahon on the Tavares Nylander line.
Yes. So I don't know where the fit is now.
So it sounds like it's the third line with Joshua and Waugh, right?
Yeah, so that, I guess Robertson was there or Cowan was there?
Yes.
Cowan was there.
Cowan, Holinka.
So
Cowan,
Cowan's not like penciled in the lineup at all. I don't think anybody should have those expectations.
And Holinka's going back to junior.
That's where Michelli would be, but he's bumped up right now because Domi's not there. So, and Domi's he skated before training camp yesterday.
Okay.
He was out there and then he left and then everybody else went on the ice and he did the same thing today. So both days, Domi's is out there. He's day to day. I don't think we should be worried about him long term.
Yeah, I saw him skating around this morning. Somebody was there, and he looked good. So it's probably just a tweak.
Yeah. So I think the lines that they have now are the lines that they want to go into the season with, and it's now about the guys who are not in those spots to push somebody out.
Yes.
Right? It's Domi's spot, and Michelli, if he wants it, has got to push him out.
Yeah,
which I think is very interesting for the competition.
You're always an injury away. Like it's
Yeah.
if only. I hate the conversation. If only this didn't happen or that didn't happen. That always happens. Whatever you were talking about always freaking happens. So you can't. That to me was one of the worst flaws of the Dubas Leafs is they had it down to the dollar, and if everything goes according to plan, since when does everything go
Alex
according to plan?
Nylander played games for this team last season.
Yes.
That's not in the plans.
No.
You don't want
No,
that.
I think they wanted that.
But that is what happens.
Well, it was a contingency. Like, we have him on the Marlies. We have the option to sign him to an NHL deal if he gets hurt, and we can afford it at the time unless something else pops up. So, like, by having a little bit of space, you're able to plan for those things, but you're like, a few years ago, it's like, well, if Zach Aston Reese gets hurt, we're fucked.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's crazy.
That's why, like, last year was kind of the first year of that, where it's like, if something does go wrong, we have an Alex Nylander, and that happened.
Yes.
That we got to a place where he did have to play games. And yeah, years previously, they weren't afforded that luxury.
Right.
Curious about, because they have a glut of forwards. Kampf, Yarncroc, and some of the fringe guy, another fringe guy like Nick Robertson. And I want to read Nick Robertson's quote because I thought it was relevant, and I love his attitude going into this. He might not be long for the Leafs, but what I cannot question is Nick Robertson's motor. The guy cares.
Oh, he cares so much.
And essentially he was saying it's sort of yesterday, maybe it's a blessing in disguise that he's got to fight because he's going to earn it. Jesse, what do you think about these? Basically the Leafs' fifth line.
Yeah, it's the Nick Robertson conversation is always going to be fascinating to me. Like, I know some people are tired of that storyline because he's a forward on the edges and everything, but I think like his journey through this organization has been fascinating. And they asked him about missing the playoffs last year, and he obviously acknowledged like that's not what I want to do, but that's up to Chief. And he knows the attitude he has to have to earn a spot in the lineup. It's just always been about can his work ethic and his skill, or can his work ethic match his skill on the ice?
Right.
And it's never like gotten up to par where he's like earned that spot in the NHL and nobody can ever take him out of the lineup.
Yeah.
So it's about him getting to that point on the ice. It's never been about off the ice with Nick. Like the trade request isn't good and all that stuff, but that's him being competitive.
And it's in the past.
And it's in the past, and they got through arbitration. They're filing for arbitration and signing that new deal. It's like, can you show us, Nick, that you can do everything on the ice and earn a spot in this team?
It would come across as whiny if he sucked, and he doesn't. Every time he ends up back in the lineup, he's like, "I'm here and I'm back."
But often it's not enough in his entire game.
No, but like Simone Benoit is probably going to get health bombed this year. Like they're Max Domi was perilously close. Like by the time the playoffs rolled around, we were talking about, is this guy going to be in the playoff lineup? And then he ended up being a pretty good playoff player.
After his OT winner, as the playoffs went along, he got worse.
Max
did.
Max?
Yeah. Like Max, I like he had that OT winner and everything was great, and then things went along. He disappeared in that Florida series and was a liability.
A couple of bad penalties, I remember.
And fair to say that I think, although he plays fearlessly, which is rare for a Toronto Maple Leaf these days in the playoffs, this season is sort of a make or break with the franchise with Max, I think, right? Like
Yeah.
they did sign him to that extension. His first year with Toronto was good, especially when Bertuzzi, Matthews, and Domi got linked up, which is why I think Berube wants Max to get a first crack at that first line right wing spot. And I really like that trio in theory because nobody is going to want to play in the corners against Nyes and Domi.
Well,
but I do think Max has the opportunity now to set himself up for the long term as the guy that sets up Austin Matthews every day. He's got to take it.
He's never had, I would say, less obligation to fight. Because one thing I keep bringing up whenever the Leafs sign a guy, almost everyone on the roster will go.
Now.
Will go. Like, has had an NHL fight. Has had several.
Yep.
Right? Like, down to the guys on the fringes of the lineup. And you add Waugh, and you add Joshua. And, I don't know if Michelli ever had a fight. Maybe not. Maybe shouldn't be. Lorentz will go. You go up and down the lineup, the whole decor, everything. He's not designated babysitter anymore. Oh, and Nyes will apparently beat the dog shit out of you, which
Well, nobody will fight him though.
wow.
When he does challenge people, like I always think back a couple years ago to that Pasternak thing where Pasternak was picking on one of the other Leafs and Nyes stepped in and said, "Go me." And he's like, "Yeah, that's what I thought," when Pasternak turned away.
Man, good on White Cloud for taking that fight last year, because holy shit. Everyone had the same reaction as Mike Johnson. He's a lefty. See, actually, no. He was the only one going, he's a lefty. My reaction was, oh my God.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So they need him on the ice is what I'm saying.
And so Berube, I think he's a big fan of Nick Robertson and how he works. It's a matter of, can his hockey sense and the ability to hang with everybody else on the ice come up to par with what Berube sees off the ice.
Now,
Stop getting hemmed in.
I'm curious about what his and we were just talking about Domi, but I'm curious about the Domi. I'm less curious about, but if you have a Michelli, Waugh, Joshua line that's good, that's like their career average, let's say, for each of them. I don't see where Robertson fits into the top 9.
Well, this is what I was saying last show. If the only spot available is on the fourth line, can you play on the fourth line? This was.
Can you bring some scoring to the fourth line? Do they want that? I don't know.
This was Josh Levo's fatal flaw with the Leafs, and it should have worked because he's big too. Crazy scoring touch. There's a lot of similarities there. There are a lot of similarities between those two players, and he just wasn't really a fourth liner.
Yeah.
Right. So listen. It's the National Hockey League. It's not supposed to be easy.
Jesse?
It's like, do we like a Lorentz, Lawton, Robertson line as your fourth line? I don't mind it. I think it deserves a shot.
I think, okay, one thing this Leafs team needs to be able to do better than all previous Leafs teams of this era is score through 4 lines. I like the idea of a fourth line that might actually get a goal. Yeah. Scott Lawton, I still think Leaf fans have a skewed view on that player. If he puts up 30 or 40 points, no one should be surprised.
Well, and that's what he does.
He's done it a billion times.
Here's what he said. I'm pretty hard on myself, or I'm a pretty hard self-critic on myself. I wasn't good enough last year. That's the bottom line. That's what he told Terry Koshan from the Toronto Sun. Another one of the dog pound.
Yeah.
Terry's scary.
Scary Terry.
Scary Terry is what they call him.
Every single quote of Terry Koshan this year needs to be scary Terry.
Jesse.
They're all so extremely nice too. Like Terry Koshan, one of the nicest people hanging around.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous.
So with Scott Lawton, I mean, his performance is going to be a big deal this year. As much as it's like, well, I mean, guys, we're talking about the fourth line. How granular do you want to get? I watched the Florida Panthers with an extraordinarily effective third and fourth line do extraordinarily effective, amazing
their
things.
Third line, you can argue, is the reason why they have a Stanley Cup last season.
Yes.
Both cup runs, they had
matter.
5 lines. Both cup runs, they had 5 lines.
Yeah.
Paul Maurice completely rotated who was on the fourth
Yeah.
line. It helped change around the series in the Panthers' favor. And in the previous run, they rotated through a ton of guys with a ton of different skill sets.
Oh yeah.
As well, your big banging crashers, your Ryan Lombergs, Ryan Lomberg and Kyle Okposo do not play the same. You know what I mean? They had a bunch of different guys with a bunch of different skill sets. You need more than 18 skaters.
Yeah, no, you can mock how in the weeds we get on shows like this, but that's where when you get to the playoffs, games are won or lost.
Yes.
It's about your stars, but hockey's such a team sport that it also matters the third and fourth line.
Let's do what every other sports show does then. Let's, who on the Leafs is the best comparable to LeBron?
Right.
Let's talk about, what do you, this is what we've always done. Let me get into it.
No, what do you think about Patrick Mahomes' legacy?
Yeah.
Like, fucking have a Austin Matthews legacy conversation every day?
Yeah.
No. How about we have a half-hour conversation about how the Leafs shouldn't expose Brendan Leipzig in the 2017 expansion draft?
Brad Marchand.
I was wrong, by the way.
He was right there with winning a Conn Smythe Trophy from the third line.
Yeah.
That's the important thing in hockey. So yeah, if you want to go on Lawton and his role on the fourth line, there's going to be Leafs fans that are caught up on the price that the Leafs had to pay for him at the time. It's Rabenkin.
Well, there's a lot.
It's the first round pick. It sucks. It's not great. But now that he's here, Lawton's going to provide a tremendous amount of value on the fourth line for $1.5 million.
Yes.
And that's what you're paying for. You paid for that because the contract is so little. Plus
Less than Robertson.
That's so cheap, it's ridiculous. And
Less than Robertson.
he's going to be able to put up points from down there, which is going to be essential for the Leafs because it's something they don't have. They haven't had in the past.
That key block at the end of Game 6, who was it? It was him.
Yeah. Right. There's somebody who on lesser teams could hang on a second line, and the Leafs have the luxury to play him down in the lineup.
When we went into last year's season, one of the things that we talked about was I said, you threw the lineup on the screen, and I said, you don't have to do that now.
Oh, I thought
you
were calling for it.
No. I said, no. Back then, you did.
Called for it with your eyes.
It was a key moment because, first off, I was correct, which I love about myself. But the second thing is, when I look back in retrospect, I was completely wrong. When you threw the lineup on, I said the only hole I really see in this lineup, the way they got it constructed, is a third line center. And looking at it now, I'm like, oh, they needed a third and a fourth line center. No disrespect to David Kampf, but in terms of what he brings, you're other than the first random year with the Leafs where he had 12 goals, you're not getting scoring from him. And when I see. And I go back and I watch the Nicola Waugh highlight packs, because everybody's got those.
You can't have David Kampf and Pontus Holmberg on the same damn team.
Right. And listen, is it better to have Pontus Holmberg at the price he's at than David Kampf at the price he's at? Yes, but it doesn't matter so much. The cap's up. And I look at what they have center. So, Matthews, Tavares, Waugh, and Lawton. And in reserve, you've got Kampf and Yarncroke, who can both play center.
And Domi.
But Domi's
as an option.
Domi's going to be playing
I don't
wing.
like it. Yeah.
No, Domi's playing wing. I mean, if he's 7. He's 7 of 7 in terms of that role.
That's all right.
But I look at that and it's just so much.
No. Steve wants to talk about Domi's center role.
It's an option.
I'm trying to make a point.
I'm trying to help his point. That they have options.
That was difficult
Is that
to
not
watch.
help?
That was a hard watch.
That was a hard watch. Oh
Wow.
my God. In all honesty, though, I do think that there was a hole there, a couple of, and you don't see it until you're like, oh yeah, that's a rather large upgrade. And listen, I'm not saying Nicola Waugh is going to be like, hey man, you want Marner production? Nick's the guy.
Yeah.
But I do think. There is a lot more balance to this lineup. And I'm counting on, and this is the next player I wanted to touch on. I am counting on 23-24 Dakota Joshua to show up. I have no reason to believe, this guy had cancer. Everybody's like, oh man, but he sucked. He sucked last year. Okay, you go through rounds of chemo, and then I would love to see you run around a track for 20, 30 minutes a day.
I don't know if he did chemo.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, it's
however
bad
you
enough.
Treat cancer in his particular form. My point is, yeah, man, he had cancer, missed training camp, didn't play through midway through the year. The Canucks were a fucking disaster.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, Dakota Joshua was the problem. I'm excited to see what that guy can do with something to prove.
There's certainly the thing with making bets, which is what the Leafs have done, is you might lose, and if Joshua and Michelli just give you what they gave their teams last year, they're in trouble. The team is in very big trouble, but I have faith based in just what I've seen from these players, and
I've seen Joshua at his
their
best.
career.
He's awesome.
Yeah, I have faith he'll be better. Michelli 18 points, for the love of God.
Exactly. Well,
If that doesn't work out, you got to move on Ricky Tick.
there's a reason why Canucks fans loved Dakota Joshua, and I think it will be the same reason that Leafs fans will, is that he's tough and he doesn't give a shit. Like, he's not afraid.
And the Leafs took advantage of a team that couldn't afford him anymore. He was a luxury at his price that the Canucks couldn't afford.
So, Jess,
And he looked awesome yesterday.
I was just going to ask. That's what I wanted to say. How did he look?
He uses his size a lot. Like, he was in front of the net. When they're doing their one-on-one drills, he's battling the guys. You can tell, like, he knows how to throw his body around, and he was great. He was a presence. You'd notice him when he's out there, because when the AHLers are out there with the NHLers, you can see the level of competition. But when he's doing one of these battles, you can see he's trying to be physical. And day one of camp showing that, you can definitely feel his presence. It's awesome.
So how did the one guy that, they got him for Mitch Marner and then everybody's just not talked about him is Nicolas Waugh.
Mm-hmm.
There's not like player profile pieces. It's not like here's a breakdown of his game. I haven't seen Dick on this guy, like nothing. So what did you see at camp?
He was okay. Like, nothing special, I'd say, out of Waugh on the first day. We can run a SOT while we talk of
we're allowed to do
Nick
this?
Waugh.
Great.
Here he is at training camp yesterday, just skating around.
Looks pretty lazy right there, if you ask me.
This is the first time I saw him with Leafs gear on the ice, so that was fun to see. But yeah, he looked good. Like, Craig Berube, one thing that day one, he runs his camps a little, I think, harder than most coaches. Some of the guys are talking
He was yelling, yeah.
how hard it was out there. And you can tell that some of the guys' cardio isn't up to speed. A lot of the hands on knees bent over at the end of some of those drills. And you can't take away too much from how the guys feel after day one, but you can take away the guys who stand out in that instance.
Right.
Because they're more ready than the ones who are just at their baseline. Like Nick seemed like to me like just like, oh, he's first day kind of thing. But like Joshua was oh my God, he's ready to go. And then like Austin's there and it's like, oh, he's the best player in the world. Like that. There's levels to the guys when you see them all out there.
He looked pretty good, eh?
Austin looked incredible.